physical strength that a black man would have over a woman, whether she's black or white, and to see that a white woman can reduce him to nothing is absolutely freaking mind-boggling.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's the problem.
Mind-boggling.
That's the problem. The black man thinks what's between his legs in society gives him power over the female. The black man thinks that his organs make him more powerful than the female, and so they've internalized that sense of patriarchy, that identity of masculinity given to them by the female's forefathers, right? Patriarchy. Right. They internalize that, and they think that they are on equal footing. Because I'm a man, but I'm black. You're white, but you're a woman. And that's not how society works. Peace and power to the descendants of my ancient mother. My name is Brother Legend, and I'm here to raise your consciousness. What's going on? If you're meeting us on YouTube, my TikTok is BIGBROLGND. You can catch us there. You can also catch me on Twitter, BIGBROLGND. But on TikTok, you go in the top right corner of my page and click the notification bell to be notified of when I go live. Come on in, come on in. Peace and power to all the people. Shout out to the originators. What's going on? B1 Queen, what's going on? What up, what up? Free the land. Peace and power. All the gods of God, the gods. I don't do the gender for God energy. You know what I'm saying? Creator energy got no gender. So peace to all the creators, you know what I'm saying? Especially that divine creator, the black woman. What's going on? Oh, that was you, okay? Yeah, I seen you type it, sister. I hope you're in the Discord. I hope you're in the Discord. You know what I'm saying? We want to be able to credit you and have you join us. So, you're not just having your work be used and you're not, around. So I really, really deeply appreciate you doing that, sister. I didn't read it yet. I am going to do that. The reason I'm on here early is because I have work to do for the organization tonight, and I just wanted to knock out my live. But deeply appreciate you doing that. Please join the Discord so we can speak to you further and continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? What up, y'all? Let's talk. What's going on? Question. Go ahead. What's your question? What's your question? By the way, y'all can catch me on Twitter, BIGBROLGND. Queen Mel, you can also join us in our meeting on Sunday, if you can. That's probably where we'll discuss the code of conduct together. Please join us, sister. We don't want to just, do that. Am I only into black women? I'm into women, period. And I only acknowledge black women. So, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm into women, not females. Shout out to all the black women. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. To be honest. There's only one kind of woman to me. I only know one kind of woman. The rest are imitations. Like imitation crab meat. You know what I'm saying? That's why they look like imitation crab meat. Yes, sir. So stay away from anything but... No. I'm not staying away from them. Shoot, you can't keep me away from my sisters. Can rebuild Oscarville with the same people. Can't rebuild Oscarville with the same people. Exactly. I heard that, Marcel. I heard that. I don't got nothing to do with Kanye. I wouldn't even say Kanye like him. Kanye just be using him. Because the way he got his wife walking, that woman walking around showing us parts of her that nobody asked to see. Nobody asked to see that. He got her walking around barefoot. That's why he had to get one of them. He know a woman would never. Shout out to all the sisters. You only acknowledge black women. What does that even mean? That means there's only one kind of woman and the rest are imitations. That's it. There's only one woman that I acknowledge. Those that have historically been called anything but a woman. In order to right that evil, I find that in the context of racism, white supremacy that we currently live under, it is imperative that I not only love and cherish, respect, and protect my women, my sisters, but also to constantly be a reminder of their humanity and remind them of their humanity and only acknowledge them as human. Yeah, so it's okay. Okay, Queen Mel, but join the Discord. That's all I was trying to tell you. The link is in my bio. Go to b1initiative.org and click join us. Join the Discord so you won't miss out on the meetings. You know what I'm saying? Come be a part of what we're doing, because I definitely appreciate that code of conduct. We're all gonna use it, even if we have to tweak it. It would just be built off of what you gave us already. So join the Discord so you know what's up. Appreciate you, sister. Black women hold you down. White women, no. I don't know what that means. Black women have done nothing but hold me up. Black women have held all of America up. Black women are tired of holding y'all up and y'all coming on my TikTok live talking about them. Is that his wife? Probably is. I'm standing on business like I got nowhere to sit. I heard you, sis. Okay, appreciate you, Queen Mel. All relationships can be problematic, but we're not talking about all relationships. And don't take the context and dilute it. We're talking about interracial relationships and how they're problematic specifically. Problematic meaning not just problems, but we mean contradictions to progress. We mean adversarial to progress. When someone says something is problematic in the context of social justice, we're talking about things that work against the progress trying to be made. Don't take this and make it a different conversation that it's not. Stop paying attention to, yeah, okay. I'm waiting for somebody to come up here. Y'all got to keep tapping like and get to 2K likes. Then I'll let people up. You should just go ahead and paint your teeth black. What is that going to do? What the hell is that? Appreciate you, Sonny. Much love, sister. We hold men down and up depending on what angle it's from. I heard that. Black women been holding society up. A black man treats black women like, not this black man. I don't know who you talking about. There are black men that do. But that I wouldn't say is black men. We're going to avoid vilifying a whole part of our community. We're not going to do that either. We're not going to associate poor behavior with black men. We can associate poor behavior with bad actors all day. And we call them out all the time. What progress? All right, you're a scallywag, so I get it. Yeah, I don't know what that teeth comment was about. Like, huh? Our teeth are yellow, by the way. That's what Dr. Layla Africa talks about. White supremacy has even made it inside our mouth. Somehow, we've been convinced that our teeth have to be white. Your teeth are yellow. Europeans used to clean their teeth with pig urine to make them, the ammonia in the pig urine would make their teeth white. And they associate whiteness with cleanliness. We have to understand that Europeans associate whiteness with cleanliness. I've tried to teach over and over for brothers and sisters to associate whiteness with violence. because that is what has shown us it is. But the problem is that society sees whiteness as purity as well. So they tell you to get veneers and brush your teeth with baking soda every day, and all that stuff to keep them as white as you can. Get those crest strips, all that other stuff. Not saying your teeth supposed to be nasty. Not saying your teeth supposed to be nasty. But you can there's natural ways to brush your teeth and have it a natural color. Your teeth are supposed to be yellow. Yellow is the natural color. So that's another thing. We just got a lot of unpacking to do. You know what I'm saying? Your teeth, skin, and hair look clean to me. It is clean, absolutely. We gonna keep it clean. I want y'all to know, don't nobody in America spend more on toiletries, soaps, shampoos, and all that stuff than black people. We spend more than anyone else on cleaning ourselves and keeping ourselves moisturized. More than anyone else. Isn't it funny? Because we're told we're dirty. Meanwhile, Becky don't wipe her ass. Becky don't touch her ass. And Ken don't. You know what I'm saying? And some of y'all down there eating things. I don't know how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to have a yeast mustache, you go ahead. I'm good on that. Tastes like battery acid. I don't do that. My sister tastes like the doors of heaven. The doors of heaven are between a black woman's thighs. Don't ever get it twisted. I come from heaven. I came out of heaven, and so will my children. Literally, though, that's the funny thing. If you look up the lineage of the Yahweh, the God of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, and you look up where they got their idea of God, it actually came from the goddess Nut, from ancient Nubia, who is worshipped in many other forms today. One is Yamaya in West Africa. But long story short, she was a dark-skinned black woman known to be the benevolent creator of all things in existence. Because early on in mankind's history, black women were looked at as the creators of existence, and they still are. We've just been convinced of otherwise, and it's a shame. A lot of us have been convinced of otherwise by those that felt endangered or felt threatened by the power of a black woman. Y'all got me talking on the sisters today, man. I hope y'all taking in this love, because I really mean it. This is what I live by, so I hope y'all able to learn something. Got nothing but respect for black women. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of watching disrespect for black women. That's right, God is a black woman. That's why they had Ariana Grande singing God is a woman. I'm like, well, she don't look like you. She don't look like you. Listen, if a white woman's my God, I'm good. I'm good. I'm a sinner. If a white woman's my God, I'm good. I'm going to hell. I'm good on that. That ain't my God. You know what I'm saying? I got up here. Basic pronouns, please.
Oh, Chris, and 33, and he. Watch this clown. Watch this
And your
clown.
race, sir?
Black.
All right, talk to us.
So you saying it's not right to mix? We're like other races?
I think it's weird when people make moral judgment statements. I'm just up here talking. But you can answer the questions if you want. I'm not gonna tell you what's right and wrong in your life. I'm not some sort of guru.
Okay. Let me call you back in like in 2 minutes, alright?
Okay.
I'll jump back on in 2 minutes.
All right. If y'all are busy, please don't come up here. If y'all are busy, you babysitting. Why are you coming up on my live? I don't got nothing to do with y'all and telling y'all what to believe and none of that. I'm telling y'all what's going on. I'll tell y'all one or two things. I'll tell y'all what's going on, and I'll tell y'all what I've learned. I'm not up here to tell y'all what to do, because I know you ain't gonna listen anyway. I ain't gonna tell y'all what to do. I could tell y'all about sisters, and if you know the divinity of sisters, I don't know why you would ever want to be with a devil. Darnell, give us some pronouns.
Hey, what's happening? The pronouns are he, him. I'm black.
Yeah, age, are you over 18?
I'm 46.
All right, talk to us.
Uh, I was asking a question in the comments. Can you be pro-black and not own a business? You buy all things from your enemies. It seems like in order to be pro-black, you would have to be a owner, a producer, someone who's built something, created something. You know what I mean? But who gives a crap who you marry and have kids with? I mean, some people they don't wake up until later. Like, can you be a felon and then all of a sudden find God and wake up? What are you gonna do then? Leave your family, your wife and kids? I mean, so the question starts with, if you own nothing, you built nothing, you created nothing, what do you have? Nothing. So you want to be pro-black, sell a product, provide a service.
Nah, I hear what you're trying
Well,
to
how
get
else
at.
do you make money? How
Nah,
do
I
you
hear.
make money if you don't sell a product or provide a service?
All right, whose face is printed on this money you're talking about?
How do you
What
how
color
do
is
you
the
build
money?
and
Is the
create?
money black money or is the money white money?
It doesn't matter who created the money.
No, but it does matter.
Everything.
It does matter what economy the money comes from. What the money represents is the economy that it's backed by. So, is the economy of that money backed by black oppression?
Okay, I see where you're going. All right, let's say this. If I don't go out and plant seeds, will I have food to eat? If I don't build a shelter, will I have a place to live? So that's what I'm talking about. You have to build, you have to create, you have to go to work. Now, there is oppression, there is redlining, we're in a system where we don't farm, we don't make our own shit. We like to buy their shit. So if we produce in our own, then we are pro-black.
Yeah.
If we buying everything from our enemies, then we are anti-black.
But if we're building for our
But who you
own,
decide to,
but if we're building for our own, and then going home and sleeping next to a powdered paper plate that is also inherently working against our best interests because she is not building with us, but seeks to benefit from what we're building, how is that pro-black?
so you're saying that if you marry someone outside of your race, like let's say you in the military and you surrounded by Chinese people, you should look for the one black person to build a life with, because in my opinion, love starts with first a connection. We like the same things.
Before you give us your ontology on love,
Okay.
I would say if you're surrounded by nothing but non-black people
Hmm.
and you are pro-black, that's equivalent to being surrounded by nothing but bottles of vodka and you are dying of thirst. Are you going to drink the vodka?
You gonna sip vodka.
If
You
there's
you ever been the only black person at the job? You ever been the Jackie
if
Robinson of the
I'm the
company?
only black person, if I'm the only person, if I'm in a dungeon and there's nothing but doo-doo water for me to drink and I have not drank in
Mhm.
days, I guarantee you I'm not looking at that water.
Okay, so let's just say, for example, I'll just give it a little context. You are a producer. You have a strong mind, and you decide, you know what, I don't want to be in Detroit. You got a full ride scholarship to Utah, and you're the only black kid in school, and homegirl over here feeling you. You just want to isolate yourself and not be part of the community
Yeah,
and
I
not.
don't see it as isolating myself because if I'm pro-black, then I don't see an opportunity that I'm rejecting. I just don't see anything here for me. Do you understand? If there was nothing to eat except dog turds, would you look at it and eat it? Like, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that about these, I'm not saying that to degrade anybody or disrespect anybody, but I'm saying when things are not an option, things are not an option. When you know what you need to replenish yourself, then you know where you're gonna go. Like, it's not like you just look at things differently when you're pro-black. Pro-blackness is prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of, like you said, building within the black community. So that means prioritizing. And there's many ways to build, and capitalism is not something that is the only avenue for building in the black community. You can build by just having a black woman, having a black family, maintaining them, teaching them consciousness, and finding ways to educate the next generation on what our people are about. That right there, you can do that for free.
I get it. I get it. So you would say Malcolm X was pro-black, but let's just say for a minute when he
Malcolm
was
X
running the street,
is where I get the definition from. So absolutely.
right? So let's just say in the beginning, when he was messing with drugs and white girls, but that he had married one and fathered the child. You know what I mean? Do you think that he should continue to build, or he should abandon his family and his responsibilities to further his pro-black agenda? Or should he be a man and take responsibility for the actions that he took and take care of his family, that he chose a partner during a time before he was woke?
I like the word
Can
that
you be
used.
pro-black?
I like how you said. I like how you said messing with white women, because that's all he was doing was messing in a mess. But
Well,
at
that's
the end
what
of
I
the
said.
day,
At that time, if he had fathered a child, what should he handle his responsibilities
I'm
and
about to
bring and
tell
take
you.
care of that
You
woman and
asked me
that
the
child?
same question
Okay,
twice.
go ahead.
I hear you.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
Go ahead.
So Malcolm X has a child with a white woman. That child is black. He has a responsibility to that child. He does not have a responsibility to that woman. And so if he's pro-black, then he's going to make sure that he raises that child in their Africanity, raises that child to have knowledge of self and the stuff that he preached about. But if he thinks for any moment that he's going to include her in what he is building for black people, then Malcolm X is no longer pro-black and he is on a different path.
Okay. All right. Well, can you be pro-black and buy all things from your enemies?
You can be pro-black and live in the context of white supremacy with a survival mindset that has stolen resources from you. And honestly, there is no way for most people to only buy black. And this is the second time you've taken it back to capitalism. Whether it's a black-owned store that pays mortgages to white banks, or pays rent to a white owner, or pays an electric bill to a white-owned company, or pays a car note to a white-owned bank. Like, there's almost no way to live in the West and buy only black. So to set that bar of we have to pay dollars that we deserve freely, but I don't even want to go there. But to say that we have to pay white dollars to only black people in order to be pro-black don't make no sense, because the dollars, as long as the dollars are white, it ain't got nothing to do with us. That has to do with survival.
Well, if pro-black meant that we only buy from each other and that we
It
make our
doesn't.
own
You keep
butter, we
saying
make our
that.
own
I never
clothes,
said we
we
only
do
buy
our
from each
own,
other. You're taking it in a different
then
context.
I'm just
Capitalism is
saying
not
that.
pro-black.
No, I'm not talking about capitalism. I'm talking about I grow tomatoes. I sell food, and people that buy my food are my people. You know what I
Why you
mean?
don't
It
give it to
creates a
them for free?
whole internal
Why don't
economy.
you give it to them
No,
for
hold on a
free?
second. Let me finish. It creates a whole. Okay, let me go ahead and put in my blood, sweat, and tears and building and creating, and my family working, and then just give it away my resources. Does that make sense in your mind?
Yes, do that. Yes, or teach other brothers and sisters how to do what you're doing, because you understand that they are prisoners of war in the context of white supremacy. You understand that there is a silent GE, no side going on with these people, and that they are refugees. So you understand that you sitting there selling stuff back to them that you are able to grow for free is you in your survival mentality doing things that are in your best interest but not the best interest of your community. There is no capitalism without exploitation of another group. So at the end of the day, you are
That's absolutely
participating.
right.
And so what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if you want to call yourself pro-black, then you would have to give that away for free. If you don't choose to give it away for free, then that is perfectly fine too. But what you're doing is not pro-black. And so when I
No,
pay
what
my
I'm
light
saying
bill,
is,
that is not a pro-black action. I don't have my own generator. I don't have a hamster on a wheel in my backyard. So when I pay my light bill, that is not pro-black. But that doesn't make me not
okay,
pro-black,
so
because in the
so
context of
when
white
I
supremacy,
go,
hold on, let me finish, Darnell. In the context of white supremacy, I don't get to choose a black-owned electric company. We don't have these resources because they've been stolen from us, because we've been the access to these resources have been gate kept from black people. So we understand that.
what we don't understand is economics. If you do not, if I wanted to, if I didn't want to own my own business, I would have to get a job doing what? Selling a product or providing a service. Okay? Because that is exactly what economics is. You sell a product, you provide a service. Now, if I don't put millions of dollars in the land and the machinery and everything, I'm not going to give it away for free. I need someone who to pull those potatoes out of the ground, and then I go sell those potatoes, and I make a small profit to take care of my family and my people. I mean, you
And
got to
and and
understand that
and
there's a
does your
whole
family?
Chinatown, there's a whole Jewish community that understand economics and work together
There's a
to build. So
now
my
you done
question,
messed up. All right, now I'm muting you
Can I?
because
Can
now
I?
you done messed up. Now you done messed up. The Jewish community has an economy based on diamonds stolen from Africa in Israel. You understand? They have their own economy that you cannot compare the two. Our economy is the one that they exploit in Africa. So you cannot compare an exploited people to another people that exploit the same people. That is corny, bro. So that's what I'm trying to say. Capitalism is not the answer for us. Jewish people have built their wealth off of look it up right now. Everybody, Google it. The number one export of Israel is diamonds from Africa. All right, we're gonna
Can
go to the next
I?
guest.
Can I?
Go ahead, Queen.
Say something. Um, this is very interesting. I don't know, Darnell. It seems like you are presuming that that there isn't any system of capitalism, and I'm going to qualify that by saying producing, like having a trade, because I think we have to distinguish between exploitive capitalism and producing something and trading for the purpose of a community being able to sustain itself.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to make that differentiation first. And I really am a little taken aback that you seem to be presuming that this does not exist in the Black community anywhere. Because I don't know where you're looking, because this is what I look for to join other groups. I can give you one, for example, is 24/7 Farm Fresh. And I mean, this started as an app, a simple little app online, and it is growing. It's growing across the country. There is the person who started this movement, which is called sustainable. It's called collective sustainability. That's what it's called. And
Yeah.
this is where the B1 movement in the
Mm-hmm.
grassroots of it is all about that, because we're trying to get away from exploitive capitalism,
Mm-hmm.
which we tend to bear the brunt of. We're no longer going to be the slave driven and the enslaved that keeps that economy going that benefits other people. So that's what you need to differentiate. It is happening just because maybe you're not in the right circles, but a lot of people just like to presume that Black people don't have any type of economic system going on, because we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing I want to say, your comment about the hypothetical question with Malcolm X, if he had married a white woman, had children, and then what would they be? And oh my goodness, like, I guess he just could not be pro-Black at that point, is what is you seem to allude to. You have to understand the condition of being pro-Black is a deeply conscious thing. It is not like, oh, I'm going to join this group because all the people look like me and we have similar values. Like, all those things are basic, but it is a very deeply conscious thought process on different levels in terms of lived experience, married with spirituality and an authentic, genuine love for one's heritage, lineage, and ethnicity and race. Okay, it goes deep, and that's why we have people who are that's why it's important for us to distinguish between the people who are opportunist and like to try to appear as if they identify with this, and we have to weed them out, and then we have the real pro-Black people that are not bullshitting at all. We're not bullshitting about what anyone is about. Okay, so to make that hypothetical statement was just, I don't know where you thought you were going with that, because he was messing with white women, and then his conscience told him, his deep pro-Black conscience told him, stop that shit. We're not going any further. And it can happen at any point of someone's life. They could have a child. They could, be faced with what would we call it? The dilemma of, okay, I want to really be a force in the pro-Black movement, but I have a child who is mixed. And again, the spirituality of it, you're chosen to do what you need to do for your people. And so therefore you're going to move forward with what was given to you, the cards that were handed to you, that you were dealt, and you're still going to ride for your people. And that's what pro-Blackness is about.
Absolutely.
I like what she said, even though she stepped on everything I was going to say. And good afternoon, everyone. Yes. My thing is, if you have a mixed couple, I think there'd be divided loyalties. And then when you do have a child that results from that said union, and no, interracial marriages do not benefit the so-called Black, Aboriginal, African American, whatever we're calling ourselves right today. It doesn't benefit us, particularly monetarily. And we can look at some great name, people in sports and other things. All those resources are what they're leaving our community. They're going somewhere else. And I do believe it would be a divided loyalty, because how can you be, pro-Black and you're with the movement, and like she said, the consciousness and all that, but then you have a wife or a husband that's a different makeup, right, or complexion. So how do you actually express that? And I just feel like when you're with the same race, even if it's not particularly us, you're drawing off a shared experience to some level. Even if you don't have the same social economic ties, you still know what it means to a point to be Black in America, right? And that other person is not going to know what it means to be Black in America. You can read all the books you want. They may be able to sympathize with you, but they cannot empathize. Right? That they don't have that experience. Even with me being the coloration that I have, I don't necessarily say I always have the same experience of a darker skinned sister, right? there may be areas where I'm blending in with other people and they may not have the same expectations, because you'd be surprised with, oh, well, you're not really black. And I always say, well, what does really black mean to you? What is our really black phenotypes? We don't have one. I have 3 different colored children, right? Light skin, far lighter than I am, can walk in and you wouldn't know. But like my mother said, we always know our own. Now I have a brown skin one, and then my son, of course, I pray for that chocolate drop. I got a chocolate drop in my son. And my daughter's experiences with the world and how the world relates to them has been very different. Very different.
Before you continue, sister, usually we ask everyone to introduce themselves at the age, race,
Oh,
and
I'm
pronouns.
sorry.
Could you
Okay.
give us your age, race, and pronouns? Give us
Oh,
some
my
context.
age. Now, we don't tell that. I just say I'm old enough to say black don't crack.
Older than 18. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
I'm over 18. I got grandkids over 18.
yeah,
Then what else do I need to do? And I'm sorry that I
your
didn't follow
race
the
and
protocol.
pronouns, please.
My race?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I believe they would classify me as an African American, an Afro Latina, Creole. I'm just a native child,
All right.
right? On Turtle
Um,
Island. That's what I claim. So that's what I said. Whatever they're using for us today, and my pronouns are I'm a woman. So what? He, she. And I just
all
want
right.
to just state that information. I'm just going to go on holding. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to state that.
Okay.
Wonderful platform.
Okay. Thank you, sister. Juice, what's going on? Give us your age, race, and pronouns. Go ahead.
What's going on? What's going on? I'm 26, black, she, her. Y'all killing
Talk
me
to
with
us.
these pronouns in every life. Can interracial relationships be problematic? Absolutely. Raven Simone wife said that she never watched That's So Raven growing up. Bitch, you ain't had to lie. You ain't even had to lie to kick it like that. That was ridiculous. That's also weird, and it means that, stuff like that. Henry Belafonte, he sat in all those FBI meetings and he was funding a little bit of the civil rights era, in order to help people and stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
kind of a mixed subject. But because Henry Belafonte sat in all those meetings
Harry.
and didn't tell us,
His name is
sorry,
Harry.
thank you, my bad. Because Henry Belafonte sat in all those meetings and didn't tell us till 30 years later that you were a part of the media meetings in order to corrupt black arts, that is unacceptable. Unacceptable. So they can be very, very problematic because they create a dual allegiance. Also, do they create a dual allegiance? They separate you from what it means to be black in order to be able to be sexually acceptable to them.
Mm.
Can black women or black women marry white and still be pro-black? I believe that pro-black is just a thing that we say to make people feel, to make ourselves feel better than other people. But no, I do not believe that you can marry white and be pro-black at all. It just that doesn't even make sense. As
Why
a
do you say
woman,
something we say to make ourselves feel better than other people? I think that was interesting. Why did you say that?
well, because usually when I hear it being said, it's said in these very mundane ways in which you subscribe to this idea of blackness being inherently under white supremacy. You subscribe to the idea that blackness is inherent. Like, it's just, usually when I hear people talk about pro-blackness, they're talking about acknowledging the victimhood of blackness rather than being a part of the solution to remove us from that position. And I find problem with
I
people
find
who
that
only want us to sit in one position.
I find that pro blackness is the solution. What is your definition of pro black, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, my definition of pro-black comes with a requirement of work. If you do not have any work within the areas of activity, I don't consider you pro-black, but I don't consider you anti-black. And the reason that I hold that foundation where you are required to have an actual work thesis is because I work within, I do this, I'm a political strategist and I'm also an urban farmer. So because I do those 2 jobs, I have to put myself at a higher responsibility. I have to have a higher, I have to have a more strenuous definition of pro-blackness so that I actually do something with it. But
So
my
so if you
profession puts me in
understand
that mode.
that, so if you understand that, then you know that the assumption of work behind being pro black is only to get people to organize and focus on the solution. So why do you say that it's just to make the people feel better about themselves?
Well, because I only really see, like, because of what social media has turned it into.
Okay, that I
Yeah.
understand.
And that is my main framework for why I'm saying that it's pretty much just something that we say to make ourselves feel better than other people.
Oh, okay,
Because
yeah.
it's a social media. We turn it to we social media it turns it into different
Yeah,
things.
I understand. I use Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey as definitions of pro-blackness, self-determination, prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building within the black community. So
I agree with
making
that definition as well. I agree with that.
yeah. All right.
And then the last bullet point: do interracial relationships benefit the black community? The only time interracial relationships benefited black community is when black men was fucking white women so that we could get free. After that, that shit was dead. It was done. So, we needed them. We needed their help to get some abolitionists on our side. We needed some white pillow talk to make that happen. But on a more serious note, no. They don't benefit black community.
Mhm.
And in fact, they assimilate and erase black community because eventually, because of the way that colorism works and stuff like that, like it just is not, it's not helpful. But yeah, I'm gonna land that there.
All right. Thank you, Juice. Appreciate you. Thank you for that truth. Right. And ARB 077, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
What?
Your age. Oh, I'm sorry. Queen, did you want to say something?
All are going to hell one day and get eaten by the same bugs with a, oh my goodness.
Queen, can you hear us? She might have unmuted herself by accident. ARB,
Yes.
could you give us your age, race, and pronouns?
My age is 46. I have many races, I guess you can call it, because I got a little bit of everything in me. And
So,
I don't think pronouns are really important.
Are you the product of a game of Twister?
Well, I just happen to be a product of America.
Well, I don't. That's not a race. That's a nationality. So, the fact that you said you got a little bit of everything, I'm going to assume one of your parents is black, right?
Well, one of my great-great-great-great-grandparents was half black, half Native American.
Okay, so we don't need all of that.
That's washed out. That's washed out.
So now I'm assuming that you're distancing yourself from whiteness. Is that what you're trying to do? Do you have two white parents?
No, actually not at all. I don't really.
So what are your parents then?
My parents, my mom has. That's where my side where the Native American and black came from.
No. Just what your mom is. What is your mom made of?
We're all made of the same stuff, man. We're people.
Yeah, I know, but you're diluting the conversation and trying to avoid the question.
No, what do you mean by diluting? What are you talking about?
Yeah, because you're giving us too much of a backstory. So I feel like
I don't want to. You ask a complex question, you're going to get a complex answer.
You're running from.
Answer the question. A or B.
It's Arbo. And we can't just be one thing or whatever. Are you all black? I mean, what are we talking about here? Why are you guys having this conversation in the first place? That's what I want to know.
If you don't know why we having a conversation, why you come up here?
Well, I came on here because I found it a little bit interesting, and
he white. All right, we're going to the next guest.
Yeah.
The Black Show. What's going on, brother?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Peace. I'm well.
I see you having. Yeah. See you got a few little trollers up in here. I came over to exterminate them up out of here with this little troll spray.
Yeah.
You know, my race is African American. You know, I'm black. My nationality is American, which my allegiance ain't really towards. My pronouns is he, him, and his. All his.
Talk to us, King.
Yeah. You know, what this dude was trying to do, he's trying to assimilate himself within to us by making us forget about our skin color and just accept them as well. But every time we do that, what do? They use that against us to make everything go as they plan to benefit them as well and to take away from us. He's not understanding the fact that he shouldn't be holding us accountable, that we trying to bring our peoples together, and so we can learn how to love each other. He should be going to his peoples, holding them accountable for trying to come over here and break our relationships up, which breaks up our community. I ain't never seen when a white T ever married up in our community and that sister or brother never come back home. They always lead the community forever, their family forever, their mamas, their daddies, their cousins. They don't even talk to them no more. Matter of fact, they don't even give their poor families assistance. They always say, I worked hard for this. Man, you sit behind a desk with a bunch of other white tees. I thought you were supposed to be doing like the foreigners do, trying to bring your family members up so you could prosper. I love that we're trying. Yeah, I love that we're trying to come together and do things. Which what we need to do. Start putting our investments within ourselves. We got the Lucci. We got the product. Just think, dating interracially, does that make white peoples kind of racist that date black peoples after all the years of oppression, aggression, and slavery? Just think about it. They practiced conquer and divide. They found out that shit, what they're doing by separating us from slavery all the way up to now with them interracial dating us, don't that like make them slightly racist because they still practice. I'm just saying, I ain't trying to start no shit.
They was racist before they was doing that, but when they do that, they still racist.
Can I ask a quick question? I'm sorry, I just kind of joined it and been listening.
Don't do that. We're gonna come to you. We're gonna please save your questions. Write it down if you're gonna forget. Appreciate you, Kit Kat. Thank you very much. Black Show, do you have anything else to share with us?
Yeah, this is what I came up with. Back in the days when white men and women start integration, and they came up with the law where they could date out, right?
They made that law.
Interracially. Yeah, they made that law.
Yeah.
So now that made blacks like, the ones that do it, they looking at it as they want their children to be closer to white teens instead of black, so they go marry out. Because somewhere in that family, they got somewhere in their ancestors' family tree, they got a lot of that from generation to generation, where they trying to water down to be closer to whiteness. Ain't that true? That's what I came up with. Well, and it's like a thing nowadays. They still practice.
Well, the game plan was to compromise those that are leaders in our community into believing, instead of building with black women and creating black power, that the current power structure would include them. That's why having a white woman on your arm is seen as a status symbol, and why wealthier black men tend to go in that direction, because they're trying to appease their bosses and show that they're willing to, take part in, the colonizers' already established power. So at the time when there was talks of black power and we had the Black Panthers, they decided that, in order to split us up, they could just include us into their society. That is not something we marched for. Every other right black people have had to get, I'm gonna just mute you because you got a lot of noise, brother. But every other right that black people wanted in this country, everything else, as far as being, I want to say demarginalized, or not being in the margins of society anymore, but being able to have an equal choice in what we want to do, and autonomy over our lives. We've always had to march, bleed, sweat, do something. We had to do something to get it. The only thing that was given to us freely was the right to love our oppressor. Isn't that interesting? How we went from one decade where You could be unalive like Emmett Till for just looking at one of them, to another few decades later, and all of a sudden they're making laws to make it so that they can marry us and go to war with us at the same time. Isn't that interesting? But appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that word. I'm gonna go to the next guest. Big Poppy, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please. Big, are you here? Your mic is muted. We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. I can't hear you. To say you are white and pro-black is like saying you're drowning and burning at the same time. That's like saying you're drowning on fire. It's like saying you're so hot you're freezing.
There's rules in this game, man. You can't be pro-black and pro-swirling around. It don't make sense. Because it gets deeper. It gets deeper than just us living our everyday lives in society. To be pro-black, you're thinking about the future. You think about what can occur, the consequences, what may happen, the politics, what it may lead to. You already see they over there tripping in Texas, over at the border, and the blue side is like, hey, let them borders open. Stop doing what you're doing. Let them peoples through. They disobeying orders is what they saying. We don't know why they tripping like this. I say, man, the border should be closed where it's hard for people to get in. But they do get over, give them some assistance and sit in the back. Give them a bag of rice, some beans, a couple of tents.
Get your foot off their neck. If America didn't have their devilish foot on the neck of South American countries, then they wouldn't need to come up here.
What benefit is that gonna put us? What benefit is that gonna give us?
Black people?
Nothing. Yeah. By immigrants
there are
coming
black
over.
people in South America. You know that, right? I'm not saying that's what we need to do. I'm just saying the solution
but very
to the
few of them
immigration crisis.
Very few of them are coming this way. And when they do come this way, they don't date within the black community or integrate with us. They integrate with the other side.
Black show, we going too far off topic, man. I got to bring it back. We can talk about politics another time.
I ain't talking politics. I'm talking something else. What I'm trying to lead to is with fluctuation of people's coming in, and the United States is making it easier for these immigrants to get these high-paying jobs with no checkups or nothing. They're illegal, but they can become police officers.
Brother. I don't. That's not. I want to talk about.
Nah, this ain't politics. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
What do you mean?
Never mind, blood. Go on. No, what I'm trying to say is the wealth gaps is going to start getting steeper and steeper for us. We're going to start becoming low, and more likely, how it's going now, interracial dating is going to be like the norm for the black community till there's no more blacks. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think we got to worry about that. But I hear you. But I ain't worried about that. We already at war. We've been at war for 400 years. And honestly, if y'all ain't ready for what's going to happen next, then you missing the whole point of the story. It's going to be many ways they're going to try to attack. It's always been that way. So, come what may, we always find a way to survive. I think we figured it out. And I'm not worried about our numbers decreasing. We got the youngest population on earth. Can nobody outbreed black people off the face of the earth? As long as humanity has existed, there has been our people. So we are humanity. They ain't no recessive genes gonna infiltrate and
let me say this, legend, to somebody that's up in the comment. They said they don't think immigration had anything to do with this topic of interracial dating. Yes, it do. When you start having people from other countries that's brand new coming into the black community over in America, it plays a scientific mind game up on our social standards. They gonna be
All right.
getting better
All right.
jobs than us. That's gonna be
All right. I'm sorry, bro. You taking us too far off. Let's go back to this because I don't know I don't know what's going on no more. We talking about interracial relationships. We ain't talking about a lot of the border videos I've seen of people coming over here. They were black people, so there are black people trying to get into this country too. Um, and the only reason they trying to get in here is because what America is doing in their country. So it's the same reason that a lot of us move into white neighborhoods when we get a little bit of money. So it's all the same thing. It's the same problem. It's the same people. And if y'all don't know what the problem is, then y'all haven't been paying attention to none of my content. All right, let's go to the next guest. ABMK, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hi, so I am 32. Sorry, had to think about that. White, female, and basically just I really do enjoy the topic because I do personally really enjoy learning. I'm married to a military man, so in the Marine Corps, personally, from what I've seen, there hasn't been everybody's kind of welcomed, if that makes sense to anybody.
No.
But okay, and that's fine.
You want to answer the questions up above? We try and bring
I
it
do.
back to the topic.
I do. So I mean, I can see how interracial relationships can be problematic, but I also kind of just want to pose a question of myself of like, if it is problematic, how can white people be advocates and like try and stand side by side with everybody when race is consistently like a subject? Like, I don't want anybody else to feel less than me. I don't want anybody to feel like I want to feel equal with people. So my question is, how can we be advocates when even like interracial marriage is still questioned?
Do you know that every few seconds, thousands of trees are being chopped down in the Amazon to make paper? Y'all, she got whatever. Y'all sending her to pause. All right, Stella.
I'm not trying to.
There's trees being chopped down in rainforests to make paper. If you want to save the trees, do you ask them how to save them? You ask them how to be an ally. She got it. You're sending.
Y'all are sending me.
The wrong person.
Yeah, right. You're sending it to me.
All right.
And I'm not saying that.
It's all right. We don't want to talk to you anyway. Y'all not supposed to send her to pause, but appreciate you, Stella. And, Sister Drika, and she got the bag. You sending the frosted female to pause. But anyway, we're not about to sit up here and teach you how to solve a problem that is caused by your own community. Y'all gonna have to figure that out by yourself. Later, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please? Later, 4321. I think that's a penny as your. Oops, I think I muted you. My bad. You were muted. I tried to unmute you. Unmute yourself again later. I tried to unmute you, and you muted as soon as I did that.
It is.
There you go. Give us your age, race, and pronouns.
66, Hispanic. And I don't know about this pronoun thing. That's something new that you guys have been coming up with here lately.
All right, so Hispanic is not a race in itself. Are you indigenous to South America? Or
I'm indigenous to Central America and to, and what used to be Mexico. It's Texas now.
Okay, cool. This your land. We heard you.
Okay.
Talk to us.
All right. Well, I think interracial is wonderful. I think it's great. I think it's something that should happen around the world. And I say that because I look at my DNA and I've been tested. I'm Eskimo. I'm part Jewish, I'm European, and 76% indigenous Central America. I think this is the way to go. I think this is where we're going to become the melting pot that we need to be, and we need.
Oh, he out of here. Y'all knocked him right out. Shout out to Gene. If y'all don't mind, you can give them a little bit of time to step on their own feet, so I don't gotta keep working, but we appreciate the pause either way. Don't forget they're tax deductible.
He said, I think it's wonderful.
What was he even talking about? I wasn't even listening after he said he was all them white, all them different kinds of white, and then gonna say he's.
That was just funny. I think it's wonderful. I think it's just.
I don't even know what he was talking about. Africa debunks. What's good, brother?
Good brother. This is very talking when we see that, like when you confused biracial people, that they often have confused loyalties. Like when he says like that, how can what that brother from what he gave us of his genetic breakdown, he's mestizo, so he's one of those biracial brown Mexicans. And yeah, it's good for he has conflicted loyalties because there's nobody who can look objectively at Mexican history and say that like interracial coupling has been good for the indigenous people. Like I'm black. I'm not white or indigenous American. I objectively look at that history and I can objectively tell you it has not been good for the indigenous indigenous Mexicans. So we can talk from the smallpox and the outbreak of syphilis and diseases that they didn't used to have in Central America, and like we can talk about people being removed from their land, and we can talk about the overall genocide of people of Native and Indigenous American heritage. Like interracial coupling has not been good for the indigenous Americans, but when you have conflicted loyalties and and because you come from an interracial background, like you see, it's hard for you to see the truth because you have an emotional connection to the narrative that like intercopulation is a good thing, and you're not looking at it objectively. And I think that's part of the problem, man. Like, and like the other brother kind of concerned me, man, because that kind of rhetoric concerns me, because how can we be talking about like a completely different topic and you can't help but like come with this rabid kind of like Trumpian like immigration stuff about like how black immigrants don't integrate into the black community, how they're coming here to take like all the high paying jobs, like what? How can I don't mean to sound like to overstep my boundaries because I'm not black American, but like that's crazy. Like how can you live in the United States of America, a country that has like that has racially terrorized you for hundreds and hundreds of years? Like how can like all the issues in black American communities, from housing to infrastructure to health to education, like the way that being blasted from all angles, and like you're thinking about like immigrants, like what? How is that? How can that be your focus? What
Yeah.
like do you know? Okay, I don't. Okay, this is how I feel about certain things. Like there's certain things that women can do that you as a man, if you do it, it's repulsive. It makes you look crazy. There's certain things women can just get away with, and because they're women, and because women are not the same as men. So there's certain things, even me, like if a woman does it, it's just. But like if a man does it, like what the hell, ew. Like likewise, there's certain things white people can do, like because they're white people, man, and we know their nature, and we know their culture, and we know, unfortunately, what like the dominant white culture is. Like, so when they do it, we're just like, yeah, that's white people. But when you as a black person come with this Trumpian stuff, it makes you look crazy. It makes you look like you're complete. It makes you look like your priorities are all over the place. It makes you look confused. It makes you look crazy. There's certain things white people can do that you're like, yeah, this is how white supremacy functions.
Yeah.
So I expect that. But when you as a black person like repeat that rhetoric, it makes you look way crazier than the white person because we don't have the same history. So like I said, there's certain things women can get away with that men can't get away with. There's certain things us men can get away with, and if women do it, makes them look crazy. Likewise, there's certain things white people that we just expect that of them, and like when you can't even focus on a topic and you're bringing up immigrants like you're like you're some redneck Texan, it makes you look crazy. In my opinion.
I hear you. Yeah, I think, as far as that conversation, it is something that is being weaponized, of course, right? Everything they do is going to be weaponized against our community. Is it something that corrodes America? Yeah. Is that something that affects us? And is keeping them out going to make us get treated any better? I don't think so. I'm not going to let you up, Black Show, because you're going to take us back to that conversation. We're not talking about that. We're not going to get treated better just because there's less immigrants. It's to me, it's once again us focusing on keeping the plantation pure, and we want to be the only slaves on the plantation. We don't want new slaves coming around taking our jobs. We want to be the only slaves on this plantation. This is our plantation. This is our house, massa. Like that's how that sounded to me. There are things we can't complain about as far as political how they wield immigration against our people, but I would speak first about Haitian immigrants and how they're mistreated at the border, and how Haitians are mistreated in Haiti. That's the reason they come in here. So anyway, we'll get to that another time. I might even do a whole live on it. So be sure to come back, Black Show. Rolling with boxing. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please. Free Haiti. Kanala Pop Compé. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? I'm 27, black, and I'm a he.
All right. Talk to us.
No, I don't think you could be pro-black and date interracially. At all. Period. Just like that. You can't make me think no other way. You can't do anything. You can't if you're saying you're pro-black, you can't date interracially. And I see a lot of people down in the comments was disagreeing with me in another room, but they're in this room agreeing with you.
That's wild. I get that quite often, to be honest. Some of y'all down in them comments, y'all better not be dipping your toes in mayonnaise and then coming around
because it's cap. Like, you know what I mean?
Different.
It's cap.
I'm telling you, that's not the first time somebody came up here and said that. I don't know who it is. Y'all better not be one initiative. But I don't know who we talking about. It's somebody. I don't know.
I'm not going to say nothing,
time.
but I'm looking at it right now.
All right. Okay. Did you want to expound on your point, or are you good?
Oh, I'm good. You can't be. I don't care if you're a woman or a male. If you say you're pro-black, you can't date interracially at all. I don't want to hear no excuses. Oh, I got made fun of my skin tone. This girl didn't like me. No, you're not pro-black. Period.
Okay. All right. Period. I heard that. All right. I'm gonna go to the next guest. Oh, peace, Scratchy. What's going on? Thank you for the gifts. Thank y'all for the gifts. Thanks for helping us reach the live goal. Keep tapping like, y'all. Let's get to 50K. I'm not gonna be up here long. What time is it? I'm really not gonna be up here long. It's probably 6 o'clock already. Hold on, y'all. What time is it? I don't know what time it is. Somebody tell me what time it is in Central Time. What time is it in Central Time? They I don't know why they make it so you can't see your clock. It's 5 something? What is it?
5:37.
All right.
In Central Time, right? And 5, yeah. We're an hour behind the East Coast, right?
That's right. Thank you, Queen. So I'm gonna be up here to probably like 6:15, depending on what's being said. But I got work to do for my people. I can't be on here But I do use this as a recruitment tool, y'all. Bring Down Babylon, $ Bring Down Babylon. That's the Cash App. It's tax deductible, and it donates to our nonprofit 501c3 b1initiative.org. The link is in my bio. Check it out. We are building resources that empower Africans across the diaspora. One of them is Sankofapedia. Sankofapedia is a free online encyclopedia giving an Afrocentric worldview and talking about Black history. You're literally looking at Black history on my hoodie. Each one of these dots is a different Wikipedia-like article that shows a connection to different people. For example, this one right here might be Muhammad Ali. You'll see how Muhammad Ali is linked to Malcolm X. You'll see how Malcolm X is linked to, Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad and Khalid Muhammad, and you'll see that everything is connected in our history, and we're making a website to show y'all that while giving you the Afrocentric perspective on different things that they don't have on Wikipedia. So that's what we're doing. b1initiative.org if you want to join us, if you want to contribute. If you know how to code, come on and join us. Click on the link in my bio and click join us. Also, your donations, if y'all want to donate monthly, you could donate on the website. All donations are tax deductible, so it comes off your taxes, y'all. We're official. All right, next guest, Sleduct 13. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hello?
Yes. Give us your age, race, and pronouns.
42, white. I'm Puerto Rican, but I'm white. My race is white. And her is my pronoun.
All right, talk to us.
So I wanted to answer some of the questions. Well, wanted to talk about some of the points up here on top. So as I said, I'm white. I'm considered to be white, even though I'm from the island, the Caribbean. And now here in the States, in New York, and I am in a interracial relationship with a Black man. And
why are you telling us this? Do you want to answer the questions?
Yes. So for the first question, I say yes, it is problematic. Second question, I said yes is my answer to that. And the third one, also yes. That's all I wanted to say. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with what I'm saying, but it's true. I've seen the problems myself with my own eyes from the Black community. We get looks. People look at us all the time.
Why do they look at you?
Because we're an interracial couple.
That's not why.
Oh, so why is it? Why do you say that?
Do you think maybe it's because you have a status of an oppressor in their community? Do you think maybe 400 years of oppression from white people might make them a little bit they're gone. All right, thank y'all, because I didn't even feel like doing that work. Listen, I didn't even feel like doing that. But I will talk to y'all. The reason why she gets looks in the Black community is not because Black people are racist. We all know this. There's 400 years of oppression tied to the reasons why we feel defensive when they're in our spaces. That's it. That's it. No way in hell you could be pro-Black, and she is a fool for trying to come up here and think she can define what pro-Blackness is after telling us that she is benefiting from the adversarial stance, benefiting from the other end of Black oppression, to say that she can define who is pro-Black and who is not. You have never seen a non-Black pro-Black person, and you have never seen somebody pro-Black in an interracial relationship. She thinks, and she maybe has fantasies, that her man is pro-Black, and best of luck with that. But if he was pro-Black, his people would accept him. And when he's around you, these people don't, then that tells you a lot right there. Because anyone that's pro-Black is, for the most part, recognized and respected by our community. Then you've got those that don't respect our community with themselves that may feel differently. But anyway, let's go to the next guest. Kit Kat, what's going on, sister?
Hello, everybody. KCAT 34, Black, she, her. I just wanted to say that I'm just really tired of hearing people come up here and or just say in general and act like the erasure of Black people is the answer to racism, because it's not. Okay? The last guy, y'all kicked him in like 2.5 seconds, but that's basically what he was saying, was like, he thought it was okay. He thought it was great. He said it'll be the mixing pot or the melting pot that we need to get past. Like, no. A lot of people believe that mixing or having interracial dating and then having like babies and maybe having mixed babies, and we're kind of making everybody look the same, is weird. Is really, really weird. Okay,
Really weird.
it's not the answer. It's
Mm-mm.
not.
Mm-mm.
And then I laughed, but I also wanted to say that I believe I was in that same live with Rolling where people was saying that you can be pro-Black with having a white partner or whatever. So that was funny because that definitely did happen today. Again, not
Wait, so
calling people out.
who's switching sides? Who call them out? Who is this?
I ain't calling nobody out. Honestly, I couldn't if I tried, because the comments, comments be going. I wasn't trying to clock people.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not gonna call out the host or anything though. But
Hey
as
man,
far
y'all
as the
bunny,
comments
y'all
go,
rabbit
I
season.
don't know.
Y'all think y'all Elmer Fudd? Y'all Elmer Fudds need to get out my comments.
I was just like, oh, I didn't know. I mean, it's okay. People have their own perspectives and their own points of view. So I wasn't judging, but it definitely was funny when he said that he was clocking people for real. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
All right, appreciate you, Queen.
Thank you.
Yep, big up the Queendom, the Queendom. Sister Kit Kat, always tuning in. Appreciate you. Jack Mack, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
What's up? Black, African American. Shoot, I'm up there in age. I'm a male, man, he-man, whatever you want to call it.
Right? He is technically a pronoun, so we'll use that. Talk to us.
So, yeah, all these things are problematic. It ain't no such thing as being pro-Black and having a male monster as a significant other. Come on, man, that's crazy. That goes against the grain. But I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't request up here. Somebody invited me up here. I don't know if they think just because my profile, they think I'm a white man or something, but I'm not.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I hope y'all not just inviting devils up here.
Yeah, right. Well, see, this profile right here is a sister that thought everything was sweet, and this is the same young sister that was found in her apartment unalive, and they said the man was too nice to unalive her. You remember that?
What?
Oh man!
Her name is Lauren Smith. I believe
There we go.
she met that gentleman on a dating site called Bumble, and they actually met up. And when I think her family was trying to reach out to her or contact her.
Yeah.
She was found unalived in her apartment,
And he blamed it on the brother. He said the brother was the last one to see him with her. Yeah.
The YT man was actually the one that was last.
He was too nice of a man to do that.
Wow.
But you know what? I have noticed, like somebody else said, I have noticed the between Black men and Black women, when a Black man dates a white woman, there's an issue with a lot of people on here. But when a Black woman dates a white man, everybody wants to be all quiet about it.
You know why?
Like the same thing don't happen.
You know why?
Like Serena Williams.
But you know why?
Huh?
But you know why?
I have no clue why.
Because Black men do it more, and Black men are also
but
by us doing it more, contributing to an issue in our community where Black women are least married. And
situations hurting us.
both situations are. But we can say that with confidence, one is more damaging, or one has a more potential to be damaging to the next generation and to our community as a whole. And that's just the thing, because there's
So we're saying it's okay for black women
no,
to.
no, no, no.
Oh,
Don't
okay,
do that.
okay,
Don't do that. Don't do
okay.
that.
I was just wondering.
Don't do that. We ain't saying that. We're not saying that. But how can I explain this? If I got a big
No,
hole in the
I get
side
your
of my
point.
boat,
I get your point.
and then I got a leak on the other side of my boat coming in like a little, it ain't no drip. It's a nice little stream.
Right.
But then I got a big hole. It's like, of course, we always want to point at the hole and say, yeah, that's the problem. But it's a problem either way. Because when a black woman gets with a white man, she tends not to get the privilege and the benefits that she's attempting to wield.
Right.
She doesn't get it the way that a white woman would.
Thinks she's going to get it, receive it.
Yeah, she thinks she's going to get it, but they don't get it. Like, look at Meghan Markle, for example. She thought she was going to be the next princess. They kicked her ass out, sent them to Canada so fast. That old money, that real old white wealth is not going to be married into some black woman's bank account. That's not going to happen.
Ends. And that's how I look at it, on both ends. Because like somebody else was saying, that old money, and even if they a black celebrity, male or female, when they kids get ready to mingle with the other side, it's going to that side. You know what I'm saying? Eve, Serena Williams,
yeah,
all that money go. Barack Obama and his daughter.
I didn't know his daughter got a milkman.
You didn't see him?
What?
Come on, bruh.
Damn, she picking up after grandma.
Man, she dipping her toes in the milk.
Well, yeah. I've been had a problem with Obama. I mean, he's a op. We know that.
Right. But like I said, we ain't gonna go too political.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Both sides of that conversation are problematic as hell. But it's just that the brothers, man,
they be doing too much. I agree with you. And I've been seeing a whole bunch of raccooning on here.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But appreciate you, brother. Thanks.
Oh yeah. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Let me go to the next guest.
I just wanted to. Can I say just something like that? So, as you pointed out, that black men tend to do that more than black women. I think the major difference, too, just to point out, is the physical strength that a black man would have over a woman, whether she's black or white, and to see that a white woman can reduce him to nothing is absolutely freaking mind-boggling.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's the problem.
Mind-boggling.
That's the problem. The black man thinks what's between his legs in society gives him power over the female. And I only call certain types. I'll never call a black woman that word. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the only women I recognize. When I say female on this live, know that I'm saying that intentionally. When I say woman in this live, the default is the woman. Okay. So anyway, the black man thinks that his organs make him more powerful than the female. And so they've internalized that sense of patriarchy, that identity of masculinity given to them by the female's forefathers, right? Patriarchy. Right. They internalize that, and they think that they are on equal footing. Because I'm a man, but I'm black. You're white, but you're a woman. And that's not how society works. That's not how it
Meanwhile, his very physical strength is diminished because the Courtney, what is her last name? Clinty or whatever, the Courtney Clinty case, that's a good example of that. I think it was an African guy she was with that she killed. You know that case? She killed him.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
I go tit for tat, I see.
And so
So
that's the part that I just
nah,
want.
nah, nah. Hold on, Jack Mac. Let her talk.
Okay,
That's the
okay.
part I just want to emphasize, that just by the mere physicality of a man, if a white T man threatens a black woman in a relationship, she is physically at a disadvantage. How does a black man physically turn into a mouse against a white T woman? That is my point.
Yeah.
Okay. I land my plane.
They F around and find out. That's how. Look, Dr.
Has
Umar
every
said,
black man turned into a mouse when it comes
wait,
to
hold on, Jack Mac, because I know you're going to try to take the conversation somewhere else. We're not doing that. We're not doing the back and forth.
I
Hold
mean,
on.
that's where it went tit for tat. I
Nah, it's not
mean,
tit for tat. You took it as tit for tat. She ain't talking about you. Hold
right
on.
there.
All right. So, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, Dr. Umar said, Michael Jonathan B. Majors was running 100 miles a minute. He said he was running 100 miles.
Like he was running from a lion in the middle of the damn jungle.
Because you're going to F around and find out that, and that's the problem I have with some of the intersectional conversations that now a lot of sisters, I know y'all love bell hooks, and I love bell hooks to a degree. She was very problematic, but she did give me some insight into what our sisters go through or how they see things, the perspective of black women to a degree, right? Especially queer people, you know, eat the meat, spit out the bones, but you got to be careful with. She definitely was working with CIA people, but we'll talk about that another time. Intersectionality gets weaponized sometimes, where I've even heard people say that black men have the same privileges as white women. I've heard sisters say this to black men, like, y'all are the white women of the community. And I'm like, y'all need to stop. Black men are starting to believe this, and that's why they whip bunnies, because they believe we got the same level of privilege. No, you don't. You gonna F around and find out. Soon as she called it, when the police get there, y'all ain't equal no more. When you in front of the judge and she trying to take your children, y'all are not equal no more. When you know what I'm saying? Like, when certain scenarios go down, when her family think you did something, y'all are not equal no more. So it's not the same. It's not the same thing. As long as patriarchy and race are weaponized against our community, they are always going to be felt differently by different intersections in our community. But that is the only difference, is that it's felt differently. What a black man has between his legs makes him a bigger threat to white patriarchy than even black women. But what black women deal with when it comes to race and patriarchy is going to be even more harsh of a reality in certain ways, because of their womanhood and how patriarchy's weaponized against them, when it's just black men in the room that have internalized that patriarchy. So then it becomes, you see what I'm saying? There's a poem by Audre Lorde that explains it well. She says, there is no hierarchy of oppression. No part of my identity as a black person benefits from the oppression of another part of my identity. So that's something we could talk about. Let me go to the next guest. Black Swan, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Black 83 and she, her. I was thinking about what the gentleman was saying before about immigrants coming into the country, and it is bizarre to hear that perspective as a black person, but I have heard that talking point from people who claim to be FBA, which is really problematic, because what they're doing is playing into what they think, I guess, is black people coming over from other countries, and they feel as though, oh, they're taking our jobs, or that they're doing this, that, and the third. And I'm like, do you hear yourself? You sound like you're a MAGA supporter. Like, when we talk about our brothers and sisters across the diaspora coming here for opportunities, it's not it's not a threat. If anything, it's an opportunity for us to connect to them and have conversations with them and get to know them and understand where we come from throughout the entire diaspora. So for me, I really get frustrated when I hear us speak like that about people coming here from other countries, because it's not a negative thing. It's not a negative thing. If anything, it'll give you, I guess, more of a want to go to other places where we, where we are, where Black people are. So I think I get frustrated when I hear them say things like that. And the other thing, so Roland, that was up here earlier, he was talking about me, but I was not disagreeing with him on interracial relationships.
Are you talking about? No, you what?
Black.
What?
No,
What
no, no,
song?
no. We were talking about colorism, and there was a girl who got up on the panel who is married to a YT man. And I think the topic was, if you are a Black man and you only date light-skinned women, then that is colorist. That was what the conversation was about. But when she had gotten up onto the panel, he couldn't get past the fact that she was in a relationship with a YT man. And he kept taking the conversation there. So I said, I hear what you're saying about that. I was like, but the topic we're talking about right now is about colorism. That's where the conversation was at. So he misunderstood what I was saying. But no, I agree wholeheartedly. You cannot be pro-Black and be married to somebody that is not Black. Being Black is not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, that alone and being in a relationship with a Black person doesn't necessarily prove that you are prioritizing your community, the Black community, intentionally. That is something that you have to, it's a choice. It's a choice. And it takes work. You have to educate yourself, and you have to be 10 toes down for your community. So that was the miscommunication, unless he was talking about somebody else. But no, in that live, they were talking about the fact that they feel as though it is possible for you to be pro-Black and be in a relationship with a non-Black person. And the reasoning was because that person who isn't Black should be doing the work to become educated about what it means to be Black. But in my mind, that just doesn't make any sense, because if they did educate themselves, then they would understand that they don't need to be anywhere near us, right? They would understand that they need to educate themselves and then go educate their community. So there would be no relationship. So that was that miscommunication. But no, he misunderstood. I had to come up here and clear the air on that one.
Defend your honor, Queen. We ain't mad at you. All right. Let me go to the next guest. Timothy, my brother, what's going on?
My bad. Had the microphone immediately glitched the second I tried to tap it. But hey, what's going on, Royal Family?
Peace, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess to the topic of the conversation. Yeah, can interracial relationships be problematic? Yes, absolutely, 100%. As a product of an interracial marriage, and very much so a person who identifies as a Black African man, like it's definitely something that has historically shown that it is regularly an issue. And when we're looking back into even ancient African civilizations, we can see very clearly that a part of the reason why, for example, the Black African civilization of Kemet, for anybody who's brand new to that story, Black African civilization of Kemet, a part of the reason why they ended up falling is because of how much intermixing with foreigners was actually happening. And those foreigners then used that connection to then basically aid any foreign powers that were trying to come in and conquer those regions. And so that's ultimately what contributed to the fall of the Black African civilization of Kemet. So, like even when we go as far as to look at the time periods of colonization, European transatlantic slave trade, the Arab slave trade, any time that there has been intermixing happening, it has very much so been to the detriment of Black people. And that pans out historically. And even when we're looking at today's time frame, it's the exact same thing. You always see that individuals are trying to talk, big things about being pro-Black, but then at the same time, you'll see that they'll be diving into the milk community. And you'll see sometimes they'll have maybe some type of undertone of an agenda of saying, well, we just want the rights to be able to do these things. And it's very much so showing clear evidence that they're not prioritizing, like 10 toes down, their Africanity or prioritizing Black people. And it very much so is a problem. Can a Black man, Black woman marry white and still claim to be pro-Black? Nope. No. That is a hard no. Like, yeah, you can't be pro-black and then do anti-black activity. Like, that's not what pro-blackness is. Pro-blackness is literally just the prioritizing of black people, the prioritizing of black activities, like anything to the benefit of black people, that is pro-black. And also, if you are a person of African ancestry, then that obviously means that we are the only people that can be pro-black because we're prioritizing our black global family. But the second that you do something outside of prioritizing black people as a black person, yeah, you immediately lose the title of being pro-black. That's, yeah. And what was the last question? I'm sorry. The Cash App thing is covering.
Do interracial relationships benefit the black community?
No, they definitely do not. Yeah, just like everything I was talking about before, historically. Yeah, no, because you can't be you can't engage in that type of relations with the same individuals that historically are oppressing us and expect that it's going to be beneficial to the black community. It's not. It never has been. It's not showing that racism is declining because interracial marriages are increasing. Like, that's just not what's happening. You're actually seeing that more and more individuals are choosing to attempt to destroy more and restrict more Black African history, Black African books about all these topics, and engaging in real like conversations about these issues. You're seeing that that's becoming more banned. You're seeing that institutions are literally being backpedaled further and further by legislation that's happening right now. If interracial marriages actually helped, then we would have seen some form of a difference in the state of black people since it was legalized after the civil rights or during the civil rights. Like, we would see some difference, but we're just not seeing that. As a matter of fact, we're actually seeing more of a backpedal happening. So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, I heard that. Appreciate you,
Can
bro.
Brother Legend, can I add to that real quick? This is another thing that I heard in that live that I was in earlier where they made the claim that you could be pro-black with a non-black spouse. They were saying things like, well, you know, if my partner, you know, passes away and I do end up getting that money, then that is beneficial for me. But that's the problem, right? Is that when we talk about a community, it's not community the way that Americans look at community. It's community, you know, that has strong interdependence, and that includes children. It includes, you know, extended family, not just the nuclear family, because the nuclear family, it doesn't benefit Black people. But it frustrates me, though, because people still don't realize how much more that they need to educate themselves, because if you do, and this is just for an interracial relationship, if you bring that person into your community, right, there's going to be some clash with your other family members or other people that are in your life, right? And then are you going to fit into that person's life? It doesn't matter if that person does the work when these systems are still in place, when you are still dealing with the harm of these systems, and when their people don't want to talk to you. I was on a panel where a woman was talking about how she was in an interracial relationship. Her she was YT, and she has a Black biracial daughter, and her mother made her sign a contract stating that she could not marry that man. And she talked about her mother being extremely racist, and her stepfather was extremely racist. So the person had asked them, well, what about your dad? And she said, oh, well, my dad is fine. He married a Jamaican woman. So nothing about you doing any sort of education, right? You came from that woman. You can't make that determination that you are not racist in any way, shape, or form. You came from that woman. That woman raised you. And then you turned around and said that just because your father put a ring on a Black woman, right, that all of a sudden means that the way that he's been indoctrinated has gone away. That man has never had a reason to look outside of himself and understand what Black people are going through. Because if he did, he would not have married a Jamaican woman. Like I said before, he would have gone and educated his own community on the things that they need to be educated on. But it just shows that, okay, she was in this relationship with this individual, but she put him in a dangerous situation and that child in a dangerous situation. You knew that your family was racist. You knew your family was racist. and they're related to this little girl. God forbid something happens, right? And they're the ones that have to take this little girl on. When we think about and we talk about community, it's not just that person that's in that interracial relationship. Everybody is impacted. And that's the mentality that everybody has to have if they are going to be prioritizing their people, point blank, period.
That's real. Well, let's go to the next guest. Appreciate you, Sister Black Swan. That's facts. Adolphus Tolbert, give us your age, race, and pronouns. Hey, shout out to Sister Stella. That's fire. That was our movie of the day. Go ahead, Adolphus.
So, yeah, to answer all the questions, right?
Your age,
Yes,
race, and pronouns first.
19.
Okay, your race.
African.
Okay, and your pronouns.
He, him.
All right, talk to us.
Yes, yes, and no. Yes, yes, and no. For the question.
So you agree interracial relationships are problematic,
Yes.
and then you also think they're not problematic in the second question.
Yeah.
So how the hell does that make sense?
Because there are people who can talk pro black online and still go home to their non African partner.
We can't really hear you, man. You sound like you in Jigsaw's basement. We can't hear you. Can you hear me? I don't know what's going on. He trying to make space for the frosted females.
I can hear you.
Okay, there you go. So tell us again about how Becky gonna save us.
Before I answer that question, Jay, you're no, hell no, Jay, that's not you, Jay. I first off, I did not make the claim that the Becky's gonna save us. I didn't make that claim. I never made that claim. But I'm simply saying that you can talk pro black. There's people online who can talk pro black, wear pro black clothing, pro black clothing, and still talk and still marry white and still marry non African.
So those people wouldn't be pro-black. There's no way to talk pro-black. You can only do pro-black.
So you can't talk pro black. You can't wear. You can only do pro black.
Yeah. Pro-black is prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building in the black community. At no point in that definition does it say speaking is a requirement or something that's adding to the conversation. To be honest, it's just we can talk about it, but you gotta do something about it.
Okay, so here's the question: where did you get your definition from for pro
I'm
blackness?
glad you asked. Let's talk about Dr. Amos Wilson. That's the first. The Blueprint for Black Power is a book that kind of outlines self-determination of Black people, but even that I feel is somewhat derivative of Malcolm X's organization of Afro-American Unity speech, where he outlines directly what we can do as a people. He kind of made like a blueprint before he was unalived on what we can do as a people in our own best interest, aside from the interests of our adversaries. So what I'm saying is anti-racism, for example, being a goal of Black people, is us making goals that still make our oppressors comfortable. They will give you reparations. They will give you college degrees. They will give you affirmative action, because all of those things, even though they don't want to give it to you, it's not making them uncomfortable. It doesn't work adversarial to their interests. So we limit ourselves sometimes in how we want to build for our people by what will make them comfortable. And we got to understand that a people that are oppressed are never going to be liberated in ways that make their oppressor comfortable. Hey, appreciate you, Universal. Thank you for helping us reach the goal. But we as people that are oppressed are never going to be liberated by making our oppressor comfortable. We have to also be willing to think of ways that are ways of building that are in our own best interest and adversarial to the interests of all other people, all other groups. We have to be able to have self-determination, and someone has got to put our interests first, and that's what pro-blackness is.
Okay, I understand what you're saying though. Don't get me wrong. However, here's the thing that you have to understand. The word pro black is extremely ambiguous because not every black person has the same definition to it, and on top of that, all right, not every black person has
All right,
the same
before
definition.
we start doing the whole semantic thing, uh, I'm going based off the definition of scholars and people that have dedicated their lives. So
I know, I
before you
understand.
debunk that
No, I'm
with
no, I'm not gonna
no,
debunk
no,
it. I'm
but
not gonna debunk
hold
it.
on. Before you debunk that definition with, I watched a TikTok video and this white
No,
girl told me
I'm
that
not
pro
saying that. I'm
blackness.
not saying that. I'm
Hold
not
on,
saying that.
before you do that and say that this white girl told me that pro blackness meant buying black businesses and buying black sneakers and hats. Just understand that I'm using the definition from those that defined it originally, not the new Gen Z definition post Black Lives Matter. Okay, so
All right. I'm not gonna debunk your definition. I'm not gonna debunk it. I'm just telling you. I'm not gonna debunk it. I'm not gonna say that. Promise you. But to answer your third question, to answer the third question, hell no, no. That's no, no, nope, no, no.
okay, so the third question.
Yeah.
All right.
So can I explain why it is? Can I explain why they're not gonna benefit or no?
Wait, so you're saying it can benefit? You're saying it won't?
I'm saying it. I'm saying it won't. I'm saying it won't, and I have reasons.
Okay. President of Senegal. All right. What part of Africa are you from?
Me?
Yeah.
My family is from Liberia.
All right. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
What people of Liberia?
What tribe? You mean?
What people? Yeah.
My mom said she was from the. I don't remember what tribe, but she said maybe she said Gaza tribe. Maybe
Okay.
Gaza.
So you
Gaza. I
don't
think.
know?
I don't remember. She told me. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're an American African?
I don't like the term American African. I don't like the term African American. No, I just go by African.
Well, no. I mean, you're not an African American. You're American though, right?
Yes, I'm American. I'm
All right.
American in terms of nationality.
So yeah, you're Liberian American.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, that's what you are. All right,
So
cool.
yeah. So to answer the third question, there's four reasons. There's four reasons why why I our religions excuse me do not benefit the black community. Number one is genetics. Number two is economics. Number three is culture, and number four is psychology.
Um. All right. All
Yeah.
right, Adolphus.
Can I explain, or do you want me
No. We know those answers. Genetics gets kind of weird. I try to stay away from that one because
genetics to me is the easiest for me. I can explain it for you.
I know, but it's not helpful to be
Why?
honest.
Why is that?
Because when you go into genetics and race, it starts to sound like eugenics, something that white people came up with. So
Okay.
it gets really messy. I don't think we have to. Uh, I don't think we have to focus on
Okay.
genetics when we're talking about a race of people.
What about it? Can I explain economics?
Uh, yeah, if you want.
Okay, so how do I explain this to you? So when a rich person from our community, when especially when they're a man, when a rich person from our community marries a woman from a different race, a different race, when you take into account the fact that women live longer than men do, the wealth of the man is gonna go to her by default. And when you take into account racial loyalty, racial self-esteem, interest, the money is going to go to a different race. Is it going to go to a different race? And stuff like that. So a different race.
All right, Adolphus, I appreciate you coming up. We just this is a very great place for you to learn, young brother. Just stick around. Maybe you learn something.
Real quick, Jay, how am I an imposter? How am I an imposter, man?
All right. We're not going to do that, Adolphus. Thank you for coming. All right. He's a little young, man. Shout out to the young brothers. We just got this is the advanced class, y'all, in Pan-Africanism. This live is hosted by a Garveyite. There's many Garveyites in the building right now. Where this is the advanced class. So, if God bless them. If you young and you want to learn something, then go ahead and learn something. We don't have to redefine pro-blackness because the definition has already been laid. The foundation has been laid by our scholars. All we got to do is read, crack open a book written by someone that cared about their people. Prince is cold. Could you give us an age, race, and pronouns, please?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Basically, but sorry, what are the requirement and
You're
what?
breaking up. You're breaking up. Give us your age, your race, and your pronouns.
Oh, so I am 41, I am black, and I'm male.
Talk to us.
Okay, so I've always found this rhetoric really interesting because on one hand, while I do understand the importance of the black family, and it enduring through the ages, I've never understood how just because you date someone outside, it specifically makes your contributions towards black society not count. Like for example, my partner's an Asian woman. She's from Hong Kong. And I've worked with the youth board in my area. I live in England. I'm not sure if you can hear by my accent, but I've been very proactive with working with black youth, in the past and up until now, working for the council to make sure that black youth have things like activities, places to go. I get the government to give grants to the community in my area.
Where's your wife from?
She's from Hong Kong.
All right, so China.
And she's aware of the fact that when we have a child, it
don't matter. None of that matters. Nothing else you're saying matters. So because you basically started out saying you don't know how it's a problem. I'm about to tell you how. It compromises you. You've immediately shown us as soon as you started talking. You showed us you were compromised. Then you told us she was Chinese. So now we get it.
So how am I compromised?
Hold on. I'm about to show you how it compromises you. There are places in like let's say the Congo where the Chinese exploit the Congolese people there for their resources, right? There's literally stories of black women getting R-worded to an hour. The most unsafe place in the world for a woman to live is the Congo in Africa because there are Chinese people that make products. Everything we got say made in China, don't it? You got everything is made in China. Where the hell China get the resources to make everything? Okay, so now we understand that China is helping take part in the colonization of Africa.
At the moment, if we're going to speak factually, at the moment there is an agreement between the Chinese and African government for development. It's actually going to do a lot more for the country of Africa than it is going to do to set it back. Do you know what I'm saying? The infrastructure that's been. If we're just going to speak factually and not emotional, it's going to do a ton more.
If we're speaking factually, the problem is that you're saying that China plans on building infrastructure after they've already been directly responsible. No. Hold on. After they have been directly responsible for the mass unaliving of millions of people, you're telling me that now they want to build infrastructure after they unalived so many people? That's weird to me.
So, in which situation was it that they killed so many people?
I am not even finished making my point because Prince wants to focus on the detail of the analogy instead of listening to the point. Because that benefits you to focus on the minute details. Yes, we understand the politics of Africa. But what I'm trying to say is, if you were in the Congo and you had to choose between what was in the best interest of Congolese people or your wife, which one would you choose?
So how does my this is what I want to understand. How does my solo decision affect all black people? How does me being with an Asian partner affect a black woman apart from me not being with her?
Before you were saying,
How am I
before
as a black person supposed to educate other people if I'm their enemy? How does that
You
work?
think it's your job to educate other people?
Of course. So
you should not
So
be
hold
educating
on.
you had
people
to
Let me
now.
teach.
let me
Wait,
answer.
Prince, Prince, hold
Of
on.
course it's
Wait,
my
Prince,
job to
Prince, Prince,
educate
wait,
people. It's
Prince,
my
stop, Prince,
history. It's my
Prince,
history.
hold on, Prince. What you are saying, right? What you're communicating right now is, number one, you don't care about your community because you're thinking about self. And if you were pro-black, you would understand that you got to think about everybody, the collective. We talk about interdependence, right? That's number one. Number two, you had to teach somebody to see the humanity in you. Anti-blackness is a global issue. A global issue, right? It doesn't matter if they're non-white. I hear people try to argue this all the time and it grinds my gears. It doesn't matter if they're non-white. If they are not black, they still have anti-blackness within them, right? And then you're also, what you're doing right now is saying, oh, you know what? It's okay what's happening in Africa because China is going to help them build themselves up. When has that ever helped the continent? When anybody else has come in, right, to a country and they destabilize and they take resources and bleed it dry, when has that ever helped? What you are doing now is defending that community despite your own. That is
Which
exactly
means
why
you're
you cannot be
compromised.
pro-black.
You're
You coming
compromised,
at
bro.
you're talking to your own people, right? Trying to convince us why we should love somebody that's trying to rob the continent. That makes no sense. Listen to how you sound.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I just want to add on to that. I have a question. Prince, I'm curious, do you know what are the African people getting in return for that infrastructure that the Chinese is building? He's muted.
Yeah, Alicia muted him. We can't hear you, Prince. Unmute yourself.
Point of view. So basically, no, first of all, I've not been advocating for anything the Chinese people done. That was your point. You brought that up about the Congo and Uganda. I thought we was
I
talking
didn't
about
even get to finish my point, y'all.
did I-
But Black
that's what I'm saying. The
Federation.
point got jumped on and everybody just started talking and whatnot. I haven't even finished making my point
What my
fully.
point was that you cannot prioritize black people because you have a non-black wife.
Yes, I can.
As
Because
soon as
how
you
are we
have
supposed to
a
educate
non-black
non-black
wife, you
people?
have now chosen that you have to make a choice between what's in your wife's best interest or what's in your people's best interest. And because you love your wife, it's going to be hard for you to make that choice. I don't got them problems. I don't got them problems. You see this wedding ring? I'm married to a black woman. I don't got these problems. I can be for my people 100% all day. I don't have to worry about how it's going to look. I don't have to worry about if we kick all the Chinese people out of Africa, how is that going to affect my wife's economy? I don't have to worry about nothing else. I can go boots on the ground with some black people and do what's in the best interest of my people without question. You, in certain scenarios, are going to have to question. When a black person tells you that your wife is being rude, when a black person tells you that your wife is racist, what are you going to do? Well, let's say a sister comes to you and says that your wife has said something racist to her. What are you going to? You ain't doing shit. Exactly. You ain't doing nothing. That's your wife. You ain't trying to go home and hear all that. So you probably going to either defend her or say nothing. I'ma call the snow dragon out. That's what I'm gonna do. You understand? Because I can stand 10 toes in my people, in my community, and who I am. That is why interracial relationships literally just compromise the minds of our people, and it compromises specifically black men, because we were once supposed to be building a power base in our community, and we have decided that we are going to now reap the benefits of our oppression from outside communities, while also saying that we pro-black. It's okay, you can be black. Nobody said you wasn't black. You can be black and happy. You can be black and helpful, but you can't be pro-black, because pro-blackness means you are prioritizing the action with your actions and values, what's in the best interest of building within the black community. Black consciousness is the retention of your Africanity and the rejection of white supremacy and oppression, black oppression. So that at that point, I'm gonna move on, because I know we're not about to convince Prince of nothing. He already married us, so we're gonna go to the next guest. Lab Tech Quan, what's good?
Peace.
Peace.
What's up, man?
What's
Yeah,
going
another day. It seems like it doesn't
This is
change.
the brother. Hey, this is the brother that I got that definition from, man. You shared that Steve Biko definition of black consciousness, and I've been repeating it ever since, man. That was quite a word you gave us that day.
Oh, that's what's up, man. You know, we gotta hold each other down, man. That's the formula, man.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I like tapping into your stream because it's kind of a reminder. Not that there's not enough reminders, but this is a specifically unique reminder of the type of labor that needs to be done. And just hearing some of the things that folks say, I've been thinking about this. I don't want to go too far off the square, but I just wanted to bounce something off of you and, kind of get insight from whoever else wants to add on. But I just been thinking more and more about the nature of how those of us that were enslaved, Black Africans here in North America, and being the descendants of enslaved Black Africans here in America, ironically, people overlook this. We were the first to deconstruct white supremacy. We were the first to be in proximity to the beast and resist intellectually as well as physically through violence.
Yeah.
So because of that legacy, I think people oftentimes, they don't understand that those of us that come from that lineage, that experience, have a very unique, those of us that are committed to the rite of passage, that are doing the work of our ancestors, the whole spectrum, we have a unique insight that is not, you can't knee-jerk reaction your way out of the reality of our understanding. And I see a lot of times folks run into this cognitive dissonance where they assume they're going to reinvent a wheel that they've never seen before. So even listening to the younger dude argue with you before, trying to assert himself, when it was obvious he definitely needed to learn more by listening than by talking. And respectfully to the fella that just was speaking, it's for those of us that have lived our whole lives in this rite of passage, and some of us have, our great grandparents lived through this process, going back to David Walker and Edward Wilmer Blyden and Marcus Garvey and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the scholars like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing and Naeem Akbar and Amos Wilson and Asa Hilliard and all the other great Black folks that came before us. We can identify these things very quickly. And I just observed that people are naive to this rite of passage has been going on for several hundred years, and you're dealing with people that have committed their lives to it. So, this energy of arrogance, I think, is to assume that, you've not spent 10,000 hours studying how to deconstruct white supremacy. So why do you think you should be able to enlighten someone that has? It just seems to be rooted in arrogance. And the last thing, that being said, I've been peeping out a lot of stuff about, in the global context, specifically about North Africa and Egypt, the bleaching of North Africa and the bleaching of Egypt, right? And people are very arrogant in their analysis that, Black Americans, we can't be scholars about knowing anything about North Africa. We should just focus on West Africa. And that arrogance, I think, is really an example of what the sister said earlier. What some people call, anti-Blackness is global. I say it's just white supremacy. And in that context, it's to say one of the things we learned growing up is, if you brown, stick around. If you yellow, you mellow. If you white, you right. And if you black, get back. That is a universal and global perspective. And it occurs in North Africa, where you have Amazigh claiming that, they were this and that throughout all history, when that's not true. As a scholar, we know better than that. The same thing with the bleaching of Egypt. Egypt's been colonized for thousands of years by damn near everybody. So the argument of whether the pharaohs were black, some of these things, aside from these arguments being stupid, I look more at the depth of assimilation that non-white people have to white supremacy. And we run into this constantly. So I conclude with this point. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. If we are not like-minded in that absolute rejection of white supremacy and the reclamation of the best aspects of our African consciousness, then we are not of the same ilk. We are not brother and sister. We could be brother and sister genetically. We could claim the same ancestors, but the most important aspect is the mind. So it's mind over matter. So when I say black, and this will be controversial, and I'll end it here. When I say black, I say capital B as a proper definition, as a proper noun. Black people with a capital B, not as a description of my phenotype, but as a description of my mind. And when I use that definition, oh no, everybody with dark skin ain't black. It's a whole different ball game when we start dealing with our cognitive framework. So I just want to throw that out there. I'm going to chill in the cut till something interesting pops off, but I wanted to just throw that out there because I've been peeping how these arguments go, not just with your stream, but a lot of folks are, they're trying to work through issues that some of us have already worked through, and it's just like they're disconnected. But that's all. Peace.
Absolutely. Hey, man, I appreciate this, brother. You're a blessing every time, man. Definitely, much needed insight. I just felt something in what you just said when you brought up how this has been a ritual, a rite of passage of our people passed down hundreds of years. I do echo the sentiments of those Pan-Africans that used to come to my church, and back when I was young in church, they would come on Black History Month, and man, would I pay attention as a kid. Like I loved Black History Month. I loved Kwanzaa. We used to have Kwanzaa ceremonies. I grew up in North Jersey, and some of those that was part of the Harlem in the '60s, and was with Malcolm and the Nation of Islam, and some of them we would even join together with the Nation of Islam brothers and sisters and have our Kwanzaa celebration. So I learned a lot, and I feel like that is somewhat the environment that I'm recreating with hopefully the live, but specifically with B1 Initiative, is just to kind of continue what I grew up on, what me and my wife both grew up on. And that's just, that Black consciousness being passed down. It's not for everybody. When I come on live, I kind of use it as a recruitment to get those that are conscious to join b1initiative.org, come and build with us, and do some work with your people. But mad love for you, brother. Thank you for drawing out that context. That's real. I think I'm gonna close it off here, y'all. I got work to do for the community. I got things to do. We got building to do over at B1 Initiative. I got coding to do for Suncopedia. Suncopedia, y'all. It's on the way. The beta is up, but we still got work to do. I got coding to do. Brothers and sisters, I encourage y'all to continue making those profiles. We got over 2,000 articles on Suncopedia already. Suncopedia is a free online encyclopedia from the Afrocentric perspective. I'll say it again. It also comes, the difference between Suncopedia and Wikipedia is it comes with a graph view that you can open up, and each dot is a different article. So you'll have Malcolm X, and then you'll be able to see how he links to Martin Luther King, and you'll see how they link back to Garvey and different things. Like you'll see how ideas, events, different cultures, we're creating a catalog of African knowledge, Afrocentric knowledge. We're even going to have some Yankees in there. All right, you know what I'm saying? The Yankees, we're going to have some Yankees in there. You know what I'm saying? Some of the people whose palm match the back of their hand, They're going to be in there, but we're going to call them out and speak truth from the African perspective of who they were. We're not going to tell you that Abraham Lincoln freed your ancestors. We're going to tell you the truth. We're not going to tell you that you should be grateful for the forefathers. George Washington is your forefather. We're not telling you that. We're going to tell you that they own slaves. We're going to tell you the truth behind a lot of this stuff. We're going to have a badge on each person that owns slaves. There's going to be a badge on their profile to let you know who was who. We're also going to have a badge for everybody that had a bunny. You know what I'm saying? The bunny hopping people. We're gonna have different badges to show y'all who was who, give you all that context, all that nuance right up front in a way that's easy for y'all to tell, easy for y'all to learn, and everything is going to be cited with an MLA AHA format. We're holding ourselves to the highest standards possible. So if you want to really contribute, if you want to help us make some of these profiles, we need brothers and sisters. Even if you want to review them and you don't know how to code, you don't know how to write, you just want to be able to read it and tell us what you think about it, we need reviewers. Just join the Discord community. You know, we give it 7 days after we publish it to get feedback from brothers and sisters in the Discord. So we hold ourselves accountable in that way. But yeah, anybody can help. Anyone of African descent can help us build Sankofapedia. Why is there no one place for us to hear the words of John Henrik Clarke? Why is there no one place for us to learn from Francis Cress Welsing and Neely Fuller? Why do we have to go to different websites and research and look at different books and all this? Why can't we learn that in one place, y'all? We gotta do this to leave it behind for the next generation. They might not be able to find these books anymore. So that's what our goal is. That's what our mission is at B1 Initiative, is to empower our people through technology. We got AI projects coming up. We got projects for children, to teach our children. So we're doing a lot. I appreciate y'all. We're a 501c3. You can donate. Cash App, Bring Down Babylon. It's tax deductible. But you can also donate on the website and learn about us more. Whatever you got going on, you got any questions, we have a contact us page. Appreciate y'all. One love. I'm signing out. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.